Hey tankers, and welcome to World of Tanks with PR154, where we are following Austins543, who was kind enough to join us in a platoon on stream a little while ago now. So within the platoon we have two TOG IIs and a KV-85, but Austins has decided to take a slightly different route to the rest of the team and make one hell of a game about it. So the one thing you'll notice about the TOG II is it's absolutely huge, and it has a hit point pool to reflect it. 1,560 hit points. You can probably boost that a little bit further with field modifications and that sort of thing these days as well. The main armament is the British 17 pounder. Very, very good gun for tier. It's alpha damage, 150 hit points per shot, 171 millimeters of penetration, which is not bad, and the gun itself is usually quite accurate. With a vehicle as slow as the TOG II as well, you don't actually tend to disperse that much on the move, so you can keep that W key depressed, or if you're feeling really adventurous, just tap the R key a few times and just keep rolling forward. One of the beautiful things about the British 17 pounder as well is that you can change up to gold rounds for 237 millimeters of penetration. Now that'll go through pretty well anything at tier 6, but it's also a penetration value that still remains relevant well into sort of tier 8. So vehicles that have the 17 pounder, like the AC4 experimental, for example, still remain very relevant, even when they're sort of out tiered thanks to that gold round capability. This is a bit of a bold play for such a heavy vehicle, straight up the middle, but fortunately in the hills of Redshire here there's plenty of concealment. We also have a decent job of forward scouting done by our AMX-12T as well. You can see there's a bit of a brawl developing under the Zeppelin, as the game tends to be. Quite a few hit points in that as well between my own TOG II, which we're not following today, but a couple of enemy OIs as well. So Austins is able to get his gun into the game, start loosing a few shots into the sides of these OIs, and really start stripping some hit points off. You can see how, even though the tank itself might be this slow, lumbering thing, once you get the gun into the game and firing, you just have this ability to start shredding hit points off enemy vehicles. Even then, this is sort of only with standard rounds loaded at the moment. We're starting to make a reasonable dent in the enemy team, and we notice they've lost both their OIs, which would be representative of a lot of their offensive capability. No, sorry, there's only one OI that they've lost, but that's sort of representative of a lot of their offensive capability. We know the other. I'm not sure how the other OI was doing. Oh, we should be able to tell from... No, the other OIs are pretty well full hit points still. So still a credible threat down along the 9-0 line. So Austins has decided to keep pushing this offensive. He's lumbering the TOG II forward at absolutely a ripping pace here of 13 kilometers per hour. We can see the enemy team has started to make a push on the castle as their 88, the tier 6 British tank destroyer, has been spotted by the AMD 178B that decides, I really don't want to go face to face with that thing, and quite honestly, who would? The enemy AMD 178B also bounces a shot off the front of the TOG II as well, which it's hard to imagine how, because it's a very boxy and penetrable front. You normally don't rely on the armor of TOG II. Your durability is predominantly in that massive hit point pool of 1,560 hit points. So we're sitting, waiting, wishing for the enemy to present itself, and there we have it. Churchill 7 pokes itself out. And we've also found the Easy 8 as well. So both penetrable targets for the standard rounds on the British 17-pounder. We've set fire to the Churchill 6. That is an absolutely terrible place for that tank to be. When you see just how quickly the 17-pounder's firing. I mean, the Churchill 7 it should have access to the same gun, I'm pretty sure. But is not able to bring it to anywhere near the destructive effect that Austins543 has. Getting side shots into the AT8 as it's not quite able to push out effectively from the castle as its British assault tank destroyer role is wont to do. But that was of course going to be a very difficult play for them with flanking fire from the TOG II and of course the Jackson in the front. So yeah, very difficult to advance under that sort of abuse. We have both the M4A3 Easy 8 having taken a bit of damage, so there's not a hell of a lot of hit points in that fight. We can also see over the Zeppelin our heavy tank push has been successful, and unfortunately we've just lost our platoon mate Sergeant Squeege, who was joining us for the stream for the day. But Austins is still has targets of opportunity, still tearing hit points off this AT8. He is copping a few shots in return from the M4A3 Easy 8, but not quite enough. He's barely made a dent in the hit point pool of the TOG II, which is just a fantastic amount of hit points to have to deal with at this tier. So the Easy 8 appears to be 2 shots for the TOG. 3 enemy vehicles left, considerable advantage of hit points, so you can probably be confident of pushing up. There it is, the Easy 8 makes itself known again. So a bit of a wiggle from Austins as he engages the Easy 8, though I cannot imagine why that would be why that would really be necessary, but I'll leave that with him. Moving on, appears the enemy SPG has been knocked out, and that just leaves the Hellcat. Now the Hellcat, if I recall correctly, had been causing us quite a bit of grief as the heavy tanks had sort of pushed out from behind the Zeppelin, but probably not quite enough, as we still have a full hit point OI that's front and center of our push on this lone Hellcat. Austins543 is able to draw a bead on it. Comes around. Does he get the final kill of the game? Yes, he does. So Austins543 with 5 kills in the TOG II, and victory for our team. So let's take a look at those results. And there we go. For his efforts, Austins543 has come away with an Ace Mastery badge in the TOG II. That's a Tier 6 Premium British Heavy Tank. He's also come away with a few other badges of merit here. Bruiser for causing damage to enemy vehicles, internal modules and crew members. The Duelist for destroying at least 2 enemy vehicles that have caused damage to him in turn. The Fighter Medal for killing at least 4 up to 5 enemy vehicles, and of course Fire for effect for doing at least your hit points in damage, which when you've got 1,560 hit points, that's quite an achievement in a vehicle like this. In this case, he's caused nearly 2,700 hit points of damage upon the enemy, and has, with inflicting 5 kills upon the enemy, has been at the upper limit of the Fighter Medal. 1 more kill and that would have been a Top Gun for him. Having a look at the team scores, surprisingly didn't actually make top by XP. That honour goes to John, Investment Advisor in the OI, who I believe actually made it through that battle without a scratch. So very well done to him, and of course special mention to TNT of the Chaos Mob as well, who placed in 3rd on our team. Well done to the enemy OI as well. So a lot of damage inflicted, nearly 2,000 hit points, but unfortunately not enough to quite stem the tide that was welling up underneath the Zeppelin there. Having a look at the detailed report for Austins there, it looks like he's knocked over a daily mission there. Might have been first victory of the day win with the with his daily missions, but for tier 6 and a premium tank, that's still, regardless of the mission, 55,000 credits netted in a tier 6 premium tank. So very well done to Austins543. And if you've got a replay that you're happy with and you'd love to see it featured on the channel, please reach out over Discord or any of the links below, and we'll do our best to sort you out. In the meantime, take care out there.